There's an interesting one about, if digital eye strain is just normal, doesn't need management. And it's a bit like saying, if 80, 90% of people get digital eye strain, then there's nothing to do. It's just a consequence of using computers and whatever else. And I kind of go, well, if 90% of the population becomes obese, do we consider that normal and something we just don't have to deal with anymore? So there's two parts to it that, yes, digital eye strain is a consequence of our lifestyle, but that doesn't mean we can't do something about it to make it more comfortable and have less impact. And there's a lot of the 2020 rule has been around for a very long time. And I think it's a cute cliche. It rolls off the tongue very easily. I don't think it's all that effective or practical to do. So effectively it's look away to 20 feet, which is 6 meters, and then 2020 is the American version of a sight measurement. We use 6.6 here in Australia, and so look away 20 feet for 20 seconds every 20 minutes, and the practicality of actually getting that done is one thing. So are you going to remember it every 20 minutes? Is looking away for 20 seconds enough? And I also sort of argue that is just looking away enough, or is there more that we need to be doing in terms of getting up and moving around, having that optic flow that we know is a natural part of how our visual system gets information, that movement of the world across the back of our eyes, or the images of the world across the back of our eyes. And I've seen an article recently that kind of starts to question the 2020 rule. So it's nice that it's out there, because now people are starting to question it and push back on it. And so my guidelines are more like every 40 to 60 minutes, you can get a reasonable amount of work done in a 40 to 60-minute time span. Set yourself a timer and take a break for 5 to 10 minutes that involves walking around. Get moving. Okay, not only is that good for your visual system, it's good for the rest of your posture. And if you look at ergonomic research, they look at both digital eye strain and postural strain together when they're looking at their research, and 30 to 60 minutes is about the right window. For vision, taking a break every 15 minutes actually does something, but it's just not practical. I can't see people doing it to enough to make a difference. Whereas at 30 to 60 minutes, you're getting into that 5 to 10 minute break of moving around, making yourself comfortable.
You think like looking out the window or physically going outside might help as well, getting some natural
Well,
sunlight?
absolutely. I think the ideal would be, get outside. Don't take your phone with you. Don't start looking at your phone. You're not really escaping anything then. Yeah. So you've got the ideal, and anything that moves towards that is good. So, even just moving around the office, if you can't get outside, is great. Even being able to look out the window is great. You want to be able to change that sort of focus and recalibrate your visual system to further distances.
I think there are some apps available where you can set yourself like a reminder, like every 20 minutes, some sort of a alarm goes off, where you get a message to remind you to take a break. Especially like in a busy office environment, I think that would be problematic.
Yeah, and I think there's one named after a tomato. Is there's an
Yeah.
app you can get, which is an extension of Chrome that does those sort of things. Yeah, and you just need to do whatever works for
Yeah.
you. I think the critical part is committing to the actual taking the breaks.